Good evening. Welcome to episode 53 of the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the humid, hot, and damn near stifling at times confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you may be watching or listening, I thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. It's been a couple of days since I posted the last episode. You guys have seen I reported on the Kate Cunningham news, a couple of the extensions and moves that happened throughout the NBA last week. Kind of still touching on some more NBA news. The second wave of free agency video will be coming shortly. You guys will definitely see that from my Apple Podcasts and Spotify listeners. This actual episode will be, pretty much touching on Team USA, the win that they had today, 98-92 over Australia. The Kawhi Leonard going, pretty much not being selected and pretty much being picked, Derrick White being picked over Jaylen Brown. Cooper Flagg, what he did, just a lot of things to touch on. And I just want to start off first, shout out to Team USA. Big win today, 98-92. I don't want to say, well, for lack of better words, it was a good win. I don't want to say it was a big win because they were supposed to beat Australia. They were up by double digits for a large portion of the game. Late in the game, they kind of let their foot off the gas, and you kind of saw, Australia getting back into it. But for the most part, Team USA did what they were supposed to. Steph, Devin Booker, LeBron, AD, Ant-Man, everybody was all putting in work. I mean, you just saw it's a collaborative effort. The defense was there. The mix of youth and veterans that they have, especially with Embiid being an anchor down low and just being contesting those shots. Honestly, if the United States doesn't win the gold, it'll be a fucking travesty. I'll be honest with you. They definitely should win the gold medal. It's not even a question. But with that being said, I want to touch on a lot of topics. Some of it that happened last week, definitely beginning of this week. I wanted to get on first and foremost something that has been a thorn in my side for a while now, and I feel like I would just be remiss if I didn't touch on it or speak on it. So you guys are probably wondering, like, what is it, Paul George? No, we didn't talk about Paul George enough. We didn't talk about, God knows, some of those horrible and questionable NBA moves. We've discussed that. This one right here, though, I think is probably the most questionable, and this is something that's been going on for a long time, and I'm not sure how or what can be done to curb it. What is it that I'm speaking about? How is it, right, Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard has not been healthy in about 6-7 years. Just relatively just healthy. We all know that he's had knee issues. We know he's dealt with it. He's dealt with, countless various issues and bounced back and been a great player when he's healthy and a championship player and an MVP player at that time, at times when he's been healthy. But notice I keep preferencing the damn comment with when and at times and if healthy. That being said, Kawhi Leonard was replaced by Derrick White of Team USA. And I don't have a problem with Derrick White replacing him. I know a lot of people had an issue with Jaylen Brown not being put in. I'll touch on that in a second. But the thing I want to harp on is this issue that has been grinding my fucking gears. Why is it that guys like Kawhi, guys who are injured, right, great player or not, what the hell entitles you to think that you're going to get a roster spot when you can't even commit to your actual franchise that's paying you millions of fucking dollars? You can't stay healthy. This man has not been relatively, and I said relatively healthy, in 4 years. The Clippers couldn't even use him in a playoff game that they needed him in this year. Completely ineffective. Completely devoid. Do we forget 2021 where the team makes the Western Conference Finals and maybe if they have a healthy Kawhi Leonard, they possibly get to the NBA Finals and get past Phoenix? No, we don't talk about that. Do we talk about the fact that, and granted, I'm not a huge Paul George fan, y'all know this. Did he leave and go to Philadelphia? Did I think he got the bag thrown at him? Of course he did. $212 million, who the hell wouldn't turn it down? If I was the Clippers, would I have made the same move and not given him the money? Yeah, I would have done it. But Kawhi Leonard damn sure wouldn't have been getting that money either. Now, I understand business. You got a new stadium that you're opening. You got to have these guys in there. This is fucking crazy. I mean, what in God's name makes you think that you're going to play for Team USA when you can't commit to the team that's paying you? It's unconscionable to think about. I don't understand why the Clippers didn't intervene when they did. They had plenty of time, and I get it. a guy's commitment to his country is a major thing. You know, a lot of guys, I mean, me myself, I'll be honest with you, if I had the opportunity to play healthy, of course, if I had the opportunity to play, of course I want to play for Team USA. Of course I want to represent my country and be, you know, a gold medalist, you know, and be there and be in the event and compete at the highest level. Of course I would. But I also know that if my ass has not been healthy, that my knee has been degenerating at a rapid, successive rate, if it's been a point where literally I can't even play playoff games for the team that is paying me, why is it that you think you were going to play for Team USA? Now, some people, you know, they say it was just, you know, a nod, you know, for him to get some credit. You know, hey, he tried. You know, Kawhi made it. You know, usually Kawhi would have been an invite, but he wasn't. Finally, he was. This just seems hinky. I'll be honest with you. Even the excuse of why he was there in the first place, I don't know. And again, it goes to an even bigger question. Because let's not forget, Joel Embiid is injured too. I mean, if Joel Embiid is healthy, the Sixers probably don't lose in the first round. More likely than not. They probably advance to the second round. Now, from there, we decide what happens, but nonetheless, they would have definitely have been, you know, into the second round. He's playing. And again, I don't knock any of these guys who want to play with other great players and have a chance to win a gold medal at the highest stage. I get it. Now, with that being said, though, you damn sure haven't been healthy. You were somewhere between 40 and 70% at the end of that playoff series against the Knicks. And the fact that he's playing, I don't understand why their teams haven't stepped in and said, no. Hell no. We need commitment out of you before you can commit anywhere else. You damn sure have not given us what we thought. I mean, let's be real. Has Embiid been more available than Kawhi Leonard? Absolutely. In the past several years? Absolutely. But with that being said, though, Joel Embiid's been too injured too often. And it just seems like a major sacrifice from guys who can't commit to their teams, all of a sudden can commit to Team USA and go on a summer run. And then we're going to talk about load management with Kawhi. You know, and then Embiid, God forbid, you know, I'm not wishing this on him, but God forbid, we know 2-3 months in, Embiid's going to get injured. So it's just like, I don't understand what the thought process is. You know, I'm glad that they, you know, pretty much got these guys that are like, Embiid's more healthier than Kawhi is. Though. That's the more astonishing part, y'all. That's shit that's really got me perplexed. Kawhi is not even really in basketball condition. He was seen, you know, it was reportedly seen he was walking around with a limp around camp. Well, if that's the case, why the fuck is he even there? Joel Embiid is at least running around. He's at least fresh. He's at least had time to heal that injury and moved around. What the hell are we talking about? Like I said, it is just very perplexing what's been going on with USA basketball. And last but not least, the one that I'd be a damn fool to not even touch on. Jaylen Brown, you know, being snubbed by Team USA. Now, you guys will see here in the comments that, you know, or see right here in the caption, Jaylen Brown's comments about Nikes a couple years ago in regards to Kyrie Irving. You'll see that this guy has been kind of getting, you know, snubbed for weird, erroneous reasons we can't really understand. It does tie in a little bit, though, to what Stephen A. Smith was saying when he said that, you know, might be the attitude, might not, you know, people might not feel like he's really that marketable. I mean, it's kind of hard when a guy wins Finals MVP and he's not marketable, you know. But then again, there's a lot of guys that won Finals MVP that weren't marketable. I've been hearing that shit all over the airwaves. Like, oh, well, he was Finals MVP. He was arguably the best player in the world. Guys, quick stat about that, right? Jaylen Brown, right, the Celtics team. Do you know that was one of the worst three-point shooting performances ever by a championship-winning team? Oh, I got stats for you. Give me 1 second. Jaylen Brown, right? Jaylen Brown. You know, we all know. Good offensive player. Definitely plays good defense. However, what is the main thing that we tend to not really, you know, harp on too much when it comes to Jaylen Brown? And you're not going to hear it. And my show may be the only one, and I don't give a fuck. I'll be the one to state it. Jaylen Brown jacks up way too many damn threes. Way too many for my liking. To tell you, to give you an idea, in a 5-game series, he hit 8 3-point shots. Now, you're probably wondering, well, you only probably took a couple. Do know, on average, he was taking about relatively 3 to 6 per game. So you're shooting these many threes. I mean, there was one game where he had like 20% from. It was just. Now, in relative comparison to Derrick White, 17 made threes throughout the finals and played better defense. One game with 20% shooting. All those other games were 45% and up. And Jaylen Brown, remember, is the better player. So again, I understood what Grant Hill's argument was about you need a scrappy guy that can come in and hit shots but play defense. Jaylen Brown can't hit 3-point shots consistently. That's the truth that nobody really wants to address. Y'all can talk this snub shit all day. Jaylen Brown is a good player, but he's really not that guy. And the finals, and I need to say this, again, yes, the Celtics won. Yes, the Celtics had one of the best runs ever. I think in their team's history, in their 70-some-odd year history, it was one of the best runs ever. Hear me when I say this. Look at the fucking 3-point shooting in that series. It was horrible. It was horrible. They had a better team than Dallas. They did what they were supposed to. But Jaylen Brown, he really got the MVP award because he shot better than Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum shot worse. So keep in mind when people say that, you got to keep in mind the shooting wasn't really that great in that series.
Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Needless to say, I don't really feel like Jaylen Brown got snubbed. Derrick White, right now, me, my personal opinion, if you're talking about a bench player, you're talking about the best players in the world. I get it. Jaylen Brown's better than Derrick White. But if we're being real, with the roster that Team USA has, Derrick White can fit in. They need shooting anyway. Derrick White can fit in. And he's going to give them defense. But last but not least, as far as Team USA is concerned, I'll be remiss. Hey, what's up? I know it sucks. The video just ended. But listen, you can catch this whole interview on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Links are in the description. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.